How's it going, guys? I am officially getting back into Pokemon. Hooray! And the crowds cheer. I figured, since I'm getting back into it after a long break, I figure I may as well try out some different tiers while I'm at it. And so I thought, okay, RU seems the next logical choice, given that I've uploaded at least one UU battle and at least one OU battle, so I may as well. I mean, there's some pretty cool Pokemon in RU which I've been dying to try out, like Qwilfish, for example. And there's other ones like Archeops or Aerodactyl, which I think are pretty cool, so I thought, why not try out some RU and hopefully get you guys some pretty good games. So here we go, he leads with Rotom, I lead with Druddigon.
I am thoroughly unpleasant and really creepy.
But I figure that's a pretty bad matchup, so I'm going to switch out, go into my Magmortar, predicting either Trick or Will-O-Wisp. And this is a pretty cool Magmortar set, it's a Flame Charge, Life Orb, like 3 special attacking kind of thing. It's pretty decent. I feel like I could have done a lot of damage this game had I not got the paralysis on this incoming discharge. But that is why you run discharge over T-Bolt, so you can't really complain. Unfortunate, but I can at least get off some more damage with Magmortar because I figure Rotom can't take me out from here. So I figure I'll just go for a Fire Blast on whatever comes in. I didn't want to over-predict just in case, and in comes the Typhlosion. Now, I do get a bit of return hacks here in the form of a crit. That, my friends, is going to be very handy in taking down the Typhlosion. Well, I don't know if it mattered too much. I think I do go for a T-Bolt on the next turn. Get paralyzed, but he misses, so it's fine. Now he hits the Focus Blast, and now I do go for a T-Bolt and take him out on this turn. So, yeah, that's a pretty big threat out of the way already. I mean, Scarf Typhlosion can definitely do some pretty big damage if you're not careful around it, so yep, good to get it out of the way. Now, in comes the Qwilfish. Now, normally I'd leave in a Pokemon to die if it was this low because it's pretty much just useless, like there's no way I can outspeed anything at this point. So I figure, okay, in this case, just because I have the Qwilfish and Qwilfish can't do anything to another Qwilfish, I may as well go into mine and save Magmortar for death fodder later, even if it's just for the Slaking, because Slaking obviously can only attack every 2 turns, so it'll be kind of handy to have in that situation. So unfortunately he wins the speed tie here, or he has some speed EVs, don't know. But I'm a max defense, max HP kind of thing with like 6 speed EVs or something. I go for a taunt just to prevent any future setups of spikes or whatever. Then I go for a layer of spikes of my own. Now in comes the Rotom, and I really don't want to lose Qwilfish because I know it's going to be valuable against A, the Slaking, and B, the Entei, so going to Magmortar. Unfortunately, I have to sack the Magmortar, and normally, being a guy who plays NU, I'm the kind of guy who likes to see Magmortar go down, but unfortunately, it's kind of sad that I have to sacrifice one of my best special attackers. But now I can go into my Jinx here, kind of forgetting he has the Toxic Spikes up, but then again, I wouldn't want to bring in Qwilfish on a Rotom cut anyway, so it's fine. Now here, this is the biggest misplay I've ever done, ever in Pokemon history. You ready for this? Now in comes the Archeops. Now Archeops does naturally outspeed Jinx and could definitely take me out with probably Pound or Bubble or whatever. The point is that Jinx... Bubble, I have dry skin. No, Jinx is very frail and Archeops could take out Jinx very easily. So, I go into my Rotom, predicting the Earthquake, predicting him to predict me to go into my Qwilfish, which would be reasonable. However, the problem with this prediction is that my Jinx is actually Choice Scarfed, and therefore I'd be able to outspeed and take him out, so that was me just being a moron. Just ignore that play, pretend it never happened. But now I switch out, I will go into my Druddigon once again, and apparently it's a Slaking versus Druddigon situation. That I do not appreciate, so I go back into Qwilfish. Actually genuinely expecting him to go for like Giga Impact or Return or something. And I kind of figure, okay, I'd rather lose Qwilfish at this point and at least get the Intimidate off. But it turns out it goes for Ice Punch, so, you know, that's good for me. There's no way I predicted that, but it kind of worked out. Now I switch out, go into my Jinx here, because I think I did predict this switch into Archeops, because now I can threaten him out with Ice Beam again. But I think I do decide to go for Psychic just in case he brings in the Qwilfish. And it turns out he does stay in. I guess I over-predicted there, and he's going to take me out with an Earthquake. That's fine. The crit here, I doubt it mattered, to be honest. Jinx has no physical defense, like I said. But now, we are left with the problem of Archeops. Even though it's in defeatist range, it can still do some pretty decent damage. So I'm going to Qwilfish because it can take any hits. Now he switches, goes into his Slaking once again, as I go for a layer of Toxic Spikes, I believe? Yeah, just to get him up there. Now, I figure I can either sack Druddigon or Qwilfish at this point, because he's probably going to go for a normal attack. And I figure I'll go into Druddigon, it's less useful.
I'm against black people kissing in public.
And of course, Martin Luther Slaking here is definitely not appreciative of that comment. Druddigon goes down, scurries away back into his cave, and never to be seen again. Which is unfortunate. I kind of like Druddigon, it's a very good defensive Pokemon. I'm actually building a physically defensive one in my team at the moment, with like a rough skin Rocky helmet kind of thing. It's quite handy. Now I get into Absol and I pull a double switch here. I think I predicted him to go back into maybe his own Qwilfish, or I can't remember my exact reasoning for that, but I go into my Qwilfish and I get the Intimidate, which is fine. Now I kind of figure he'll probably go into his Qwilfish, so I go for a Taunt just to prevent it from setting up spikes or whatever. And yeah, risking a speed tie, I didn't want to go for something else and then go for Taunt, so kind of works out. Now Qwilfish taunted can't really do anything, especially to another Qwilfish, so I feel pretty safe here at the moment. He switches out, goes into his Slaking once again. I decide I'll actually just stay in and go for Toxic Spikes. Now, I think my thinking at the time was I want to force back out the Qwilfish at some point so I can set up with my Absol, but then again that doesn't seem logical because Qwilfish does get Intimidate and you'd naturally want to send it out against a physical attacker anyway, so I think probably I should have gone for a layer of normal spikes, that would have been more handy. But I go for a Home Claws on the Slaking. Obviously he can't switch out because he does have the recharge turn of Giga Impact. Now I go for a Sucker Punch just to take him out, and that will be the end of Slaking, which is great. Now the key thing in here is that I do still have my Focus Sash intact, so if it comes down to it, I can at least take a hit from either Entei or Archeops. Like, say Archeops had, I don't know, Sub and Roost or something, I could at least take a hit from it and then, you know, not have to rely on Sucker Punch. But with Entei is going to be the main problem. Entei I don't think I can kill with a single hit. Maybe a Stone Edge, but Entei is faster, so kind of need that Focus Sash intact. Now, I go for a Stone Edge here, figuring he might switch out to Entei, predicting my Sucker Punch. But unfortunately, he does go for a Waterfall, and there goes the Vital Sash. That's unfortunate, and I don't even know if I could take him out with another Stone Edge here, so I decide to risk it, go for a Sucker Punch, and that is going to take out the Qwilfish. That's fine. Now, the only problem remaining is Entei. For some reason, he goes into Archeops first. Don't really know why, but just take it out with a Sucker Punch. Now, of course, it comes down to whether or not the Entei has the extreme speed or not. If it does, then I'm dead pretty much. If not, I should be able to take it out with a Sucker Punch, maybe? Or, you know, I don't think I could have won either way here. He has the E-speed, so all this kind of discussion is irrelevant. But I don't think a Sucker Punch could actually take him out from just +1 anyway, so it's fine. Entei kills me, but I think it was a pretty close match. One of my first RU battles as well, so not all that experienced in the tier. So hopefully I'm going to get some more practice soon and bring you guys some more RU battles, because I am a big fan of the Pokemon in this tier. Jinx, Druddigon, Magmortar to a lesser extent, Qwilfish, there's some pretty cool stuff in this tier, so yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the battle, and oh, let me know what you think of the new quality settings, because I've been kind of messing around with them a bit, so let me know what you think, and with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.